I'm in the building. What is going on? I'm here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the one and only. This is the Big Time Show that is being seen and heard everywhere as we speak. It's Saturday. I finally got the chance to come on in my regular time. My beloved son does not have me running today. And so I am here. It's 3 o'clock. It's time to rock. This is the one and the only. This is the Big Time Show. Y'all hear me? Just let me know. Let me know, can you guys hear me? I want to make sure that, yeah. I won't be with you guys long because I got to keep my preaching voice for tomorrow. I have to speak in the morning at the church, so I guess I'm going to practice up a little bit here on this resurrection weekend, or Easter, whichever way you want to call it. It's time, okay? Okay, y'all say I'm good, okay. I just want to make sure before we get started. I might as well put this up now, because to be honest with you, all the talk has already been given pretty much for this whole off season. We really are now in the hands of the Dallas Cowboys now. In particular, Stephen and Jerry Jones. Certainly, they can't mess this up, can they? Especially with at least the first. I've been saying, at least on this show, that we got to get the first 3 rounds right, but they can't mess this up, can they? I mean, come on now. Especially at number 12. I mean, they just can't mess this up. They just can't. So I've done all the mock drafts with you guys. I've done all the analysis that you can do, that you can do. You've seen me on other shows. It's really at the point where nothing else can really be said. I mean, seriously. You just can't. There's nothing else. We done beat on the dead horse. We beating on the dead horse. It's really nothing left to be said. It's unbelievable. We are here now. This week, this Thursday night. The NFL draft is here. Let me speak to everybody that I see first before I get to Terry, what's up, brother? Joe, what's up? Jay Bryant, what's going on, man? Marcus McFarland, how you doing, sir? Drew, my brother, the Eagle fan, is in the house. Yeah, we here. And to all of you that are watching by the way of Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Oh, and I forgot I am on Instagram as well. I totally forgot about that. I didn't even push the live button. That's sad. They missed the intro and everything. They will be with me in just a second. I'm on Instagram now looking to make sure that I'm on. Once I do that, I'll go ahead and hit it. Let me see. Well, I'm live there. So they say. I don't see myself, but I can see the indication saying I am live. All right. Steven, how you doing? All right. We are at the point where, I done talked enough. That's why y'all see it down there on the ticker there. I want to hear from y'all today for the time that we have. I do want to say one thing before on the phone. Well, don't call right now. Don't call quite yet. I want to say this before, because I hate for you to call and then I don't answer. Here's the thing. I told you guys, I think last week, that I see. Hey, William, I see you. I think that there's one player that kind of is going to set the tone for the draft. Either way. I told you this last week, and I'm quite sure y'all done heard stuff. And that's Shedeur Sanders. When Derek Carr went down with the Saints, see, when you know that there's a real good quarterback, that's coming out of college, whether he's first round or second round, whichever way, since everybody want to talk about how he dropped, but he is a bona fide player from the quarterback position. Yes, there are a couple of flaws there, but overall, the kid can flat out play. There's just no question about it. He has suffered because of what his last name is. It does not negate the fact that he can play. He is a great young quarterback that everywhere he's went, he's been a difference maker. I know, there's a debate on whether his jersey should be retired in Colorado and all that type of stuff. I ain't talking about that. What I'm talking about is that the dude can flat out play. He's a good quarterback, super smart. And the reason why he's so intriguing in this year's draft is because I believe if he does fall, I believe that may be the spot where Shedeur will be picked, and that's at 9. Originally, a lot of people had him going 3 to the Giants, but I think the Giants, had already settled their stuff when they went out and got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. There's no need, if you're going to bridge a quarterback, why draft him, Shedeur, at 3 when it just really wouldn't make sense to me. If you did it, why? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And so I don't think he will be, even though the Giants brought him in, I think that's just to scare people, because everybody's playing a little poker right now. Giants did right by bringing Shedeur in just to make sure that, you get teams that may want to jump. And that's really what the goal is to me, is that you're trying to cause some confusion. And if you can get in somebody's mind that there's a real chance that you might take Shedeur early, and that's the guy that they want, they may be willing to sacrifice and pay the price to move up to get Shedeur. See what I'm saying? I can see that. But at least you want to plant the seed there. And I see what you're saying, Will. Yeah. Rattler, they like Rattler, but if you had a choice between Rattler and Shedeur right now, most people gonna take Shedeur. You may like Spencer Rattler. He's not bad at all. I just don't see him as a long-term answer at quarterback. Yeah. I see Jay Bryant. The scout that he is, I'm not going to even argue with him. I like to add that he, in your description, he just holds on to the ball. Don't throw it away. So he takes unnecessary hits and sacks. That will not work in the NFL. All right. So I agree with you on that. Just to add to it. But somebody is going to take him early. And the reason why I keep saying to you, how's that Cowboy related? Well, I believe that if he does go to the Saints, and I think this is a real possibility, that somebody is going to move up, and that's just going to knock some more good players down close to 12. So in other words, what I'm saying is I think the Cowboys are in great shape. Um, you know, some people may, think Ted may be gone, McMillan, he may be gone by then, whatever the case may be. But I believe that they have that. I don't really, if you keep listening, it seems as if that on their board, I wouldn't be surprised if Matthew Golden is higher ranked than Ted McMillan on their board. I believe it. And I believe Matthew Golden will be right there in front of our face at 12. And we got a shot here to make put a difference maker on this offense. And if it's not him, you'll have your choices, because I believe Shador kind of was there. Al Logan said, who we getting at 12? We truly at a position now that I think the board, you can't predict this board right now. You just can't. Other than maybe the top 4. I think what would mess everybody up is if the Raiders don't pick Genty. That would be the first major shakeup. But I believe the Raiders are going to pick him at 6. But if he does not, then things will get a little interesting. I think another name that was projected to be the top 10 is Will Johnson, the cornerback from Michigan. He still didn't run. So everybody wanted to see him run. We don't know where he is. With that, how many teams are going to value him with that? So you really just don't know on that. I think another one, even though I think he should be a top 5 pick, but it's going to be interesting to see where Mason Graham falls. And if he does fall, 6, 7, whatever, 6 or 7, whatever the case may be, that's just going to push bigger name players, better players closer to 12. We may even just have a choice. I know I'm throwing a bunch of hyperbole, but it's just really the truth. We very well may have a chance where Ted and Matthew Golden are sitting right in front of our face at 12. Then the Cowboys, they really have to make a decision. I think we're getting wide receiver, Al. If you're asking me, I think that's the way we're going. I think so. Unless something crazy happens, like if Genty falls to 12, then you can throw that wide receiver thing out until the second round. Something like that. Somebody like Genty falls all the way to 12, then, I don't think that the Cowboys will move up. I do believe that they have the potential to move down. I can see that as well. My only thing about that is, if we are to move down, let's make sure that we can get back in the 4th round. That's the only thing I want. If we move down, unless you get another 3rd round pick or 4th round pick, then that's worth it. I don't need another 5th round pick. I'm sorry. That's just me. I don't need another 6th round pick. I don't need another 7th round pick. You got to give me, if we're gonna move down and switch with a team, let's just say, for instance, like this, like Pittsburgh, for instance. They brought Shador in to work him out, and the way that Aaron Rodgers kind of, Pittsburgh is not going to let Aaron Rodgers hold them hostage like he's done, every other organization, they're gonna move on. So I know this is a big, big, big jump, but you'll be surprised what teams will do. What if Pittsburgh fell in love with Shador? I think they're drafting 20 or 21. What if they moved up to where we are at 12, just so they can go get Shador? If the Saints don't pick him, then he'll be right there for them. What if Pittsburgh was to move up and we'll drop to maybe 20, 21? It's really not a bad spot, but you still gonna have some bona fide players there. You still can get Ibuka, probably still can get Burden right there. If you're talking about moving up, now if we can get still a fourth round pick, maybe get another third, that's worth it. So I do see the Cowboys, possibility of them moving down. A lot of y'all want that to happen anyway. And I get it. It wouldn't be bad. But we're in a good spot now. We're in a real good spot where we are right now, and we should get some phone calls, possibly about people wanting our spot. Especially if they see somebody that they really want. I wouldn't be surprised. I think the phone lines will be open. All right. Before I really go next, whatever, or open up the line here, I want to remind you guys that this Thursday, the DC Universe, which I'm a part of, most of you have seen our shows. Talking about Boss, Cowboy, Henny, Landlord, myself, DMV, Lou's Takes, Stargazer, Big Game James, Law Nation, the OC, if he's available, of course. All of us will be together on that night to do the DC Universe Draft Show. So I will be a part of it. I have the AFC East. It's just not about the Dallas Cowboys. We are doing covering all 32 teams. Myself, I have the AFC East. So I'll be covering in the draft the Dolphins, the Patriots, Patriots, Bills, and whoever else is in that division. I forget. The Jets, the Jets. So I'll be covering them. So when they pick, they'll switch cameras to me, and we'll talk about what they need, and who's left, and who did they sign in free agency, and just trying to figure out what their next move will be. So it's gonna be electric. We're coming for this draft season. DC Universe, we're expecting almost somewhere between 8,000 and 10,000 people total. Before the tonight is over with, we probably should have live at one time if everybody's channel is working properly. We're expecting a large number of people, considering a lot of people follow all of us. So obviously, if you combine all of the shows, all the channels together, like we're going to, we're expecting almost 4,000 or 5,000 people to be with us that night. I hope you will be a part of it. Hope you guys will come hang with me on my channels here and support. It's gonna be fun as we talk draft. Of course, when we get to the Cowboys, all of us are gonna light into that. We're going to do the whole thing. We're going to really put our best foot forward. So it's going to be high level production going on, high professionalism, all of that type of stuff. And I'm proud to be a part of it. So I hope you guys join us on that night to watch the draft with us. I know you have several channels that you can go to, and of course ESPN's coverage, obviously, all of that. There's nothing wrong with that. Just hope that you peek your head in with us just for a while. little bit, and enjoy the rest of the evening. All right. All right. Right down there to tickle you guys. And she was like, "Hey, Tori, how you doing? What's going on?" Joe said, "Who watching WrestleMania tonight?" I think if you're a wrestling fan, at some point you're gonna put that TV on there. I'll be tuning in tonight as well for WrestleMania. Super Bowl of wrestling. That's what it is. Super Bowl of WWE. For us older guys, man, look, WWE ain't got nothing on the old days. I live right here in Memphis. And of course, if you're a wrestling fan, then we were a territory. And, ever since I've been born, in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and of course, when we say Memphis wrestling, then one name comes to mind here. But it's more than one name. But obviously, the one that stood out was the King, Jerry Lawler. And, back in the day, back in the 80s, late 70s and early 80s, we had WrestleMania every Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum. Shit. All you had to do was put Jerry Lawler against Bill Dundee. That's it. That's all you needed. Every week. Listen, Lawler and Dundee put on a show every Monday night. World class, match of the year type stuff. Every Monday night. And that's just two guys. I ain't even talking about Austin Idol, Harmon Rich against Lawler, Fabulous Ones against the Moon Dog. Man, look, Jackie Fargo, y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all don't know. Terry Funk, oh my God, Dory Funk Jr. Hogan was here, and Hogan got it started here. But some of y'all know that. I'm just saying that we had it here every Monday night. It was incredible. So WrestleMania it's great, but it was nothing like the old territory thing. All right, let me stop it. Y'all didn't come here for no wrestling. That's right, the NBA playoffs tonight. My Lakers opened up against the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. That's gonna be a hot one. We need to see what Luka and LeBron got to say tonight. Need to make a strong statement. We'll see that. So there's a lot of good stuff coming on, all right? Okay. All right. Jay Bryan said if San Francisco trades Purdy, Pittsburgh, and signs Rodgers, they immediately need to draft a receiver. Yeah, whoever. If Purdy stays, they need to draft a receiver. That's why I don't think Ted is going to make it to us. If y'all don't know, the 49ers are drafted 11, right in front of us. I don't think when they let go of Debo, I think Ayuk is coming off of ACL. Don't know where he really is. I really believe that they're going to have to give. We'll see if they're going to pay Purdy. They're going to have to pay Purdy, and they still have McCaffrey as of now. They don't have Debo. Ayuk is unquestionable, but they get that kid that they had last year, the rookie from Florida. Forgive me for not knowing his name, but he seems like he's the real deal. So you still need another wideout. I think Ted would work there perfectly, actually. That's why I don't think he's going to last to 12. And I really believe the Cowboys got their eye on gold in the first place. So, I can see that. I really can see that. So, y'all come on, let's get ready. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know, Al. That opens up another whole conversation. Because I don't want to diminish Ted McMillan at all. Ted is the truth. There ain't no question about that. But my question is, when it comes to that, is who is more Dak Prescott friendly? That's what I say about it. Is Ted his style? Does it match Dak Prescott better? Or does the style of Golden matches better? And I think that Golden matches Dak better, or is more Dak friendly. Dak, not gonna say he can't throw to him, but that was early in his career when he had Dez, and Dak was not throwing contested balls, like that. Dak needed people open. He's better now than that, and I think that he would do it, but that's really not Dak's game. You see what I'm saying? I don't. You see what I'm saying? I just don't think that it just don't work. Golden fits Dak better because of the way he's a route runner. Dak loves route running. Mari Cooper, CD, obviously. You can even throw Jason Witten name in there. Those type of guys who just run, solid route, get open by their route running, timing, stuff like that. That's what Dak is better at. Jump ball receivers, back shoulder throws, all that type of stuff. That's really not Dak's game. You see what I'm saying? Those type of receivers, the guys that are open even when they're covered, those type of guys, that ain't never really been Dak's. That's just not, to me. And y'all may see something different, but I don't think so. And so, based off of that, and when you look at the tape of Golden, I mean, come on now. Golden is a dream for a quarterback. Gets open, you get over the top of you, obviously got a 4.2 speed, but his route running is very, very, very good. He can get open just by route running. Separation is there. He's a technician type of guy. Or a running back. For a wide receiver. Technician type of guy. I think he's a better fit. I think that's the way Cowboys be personally. So we just have to see when the day comes. I hear you, Jay. And again, I'm not trying to knock Ted at all. I'm very happy we picked Ted McMillan. Very happy. Dick Bryan says both receivers fit Dak, but in different ways. Ted has big catch radius, which would be a big first down and end zone target, red zone type dude. And Golden adds a speed dimension that we have never had. Both assessments are true. So I don't knock me. I'll take either one. I'm smiling either way. If it comes down to it, I'm smiling either way. If you get Ted McMillan and as a defensive coordinator, you got a game plan. Once Ted shows that he'll destroy you for going one-on-one with him, then a defensive coordinator is going to have a big problem game planning against the Cowboys. If you get Golden, it is the same exact thing. See, once Golden, since everybody loves the double CD, these two type dudes will get the double coverage off of CD. Either one. Because if you go one-on-one with either Ted or Golden, you're going to pay the price. You will pay the price for that. Drew says, did I see the Zach Martin interview where he said that Dallas had a good team to win Super Bowls, the narrative that not having good teams have to stop? Well, the only thing, Drew, that I would say to your comment is, I think it's more than the players. Since I've been watching Cowboys for a while, I think that you got to add in philosophy to that. So you can have all these good players, but if the cook don't know how to cook the meal, then you just got a lot of nice ingredients. Um, when I think about a Kellen Moore, who had majority of the real good teams that you're talking about, but he was primarily a passing type guy. But you got 3 all pros on your offensive line, and they weren't known just for pass protection. They were known for knocking people on their butts. But we didn't run the ball. And that was a huge problem because we were known as pretty much a finesse passing football team, which I believe that was the case. So I believe if we would have had a philosophy change, we probably could have went even further. I'm just saying. Philosophy has something to do with that too. If you know your quarterback is somewhat shaky at that time, then put him under center and hand the ball off like he did with Saquon Barkley last year. We didn't do that. We had a healthy Tony Pollard. We had a healthier Ezekiel Elliott back then. And you had 3 all-pro line. Run the football. Kellen Moore didn't do that. I'm just saying. And then we never really had a defense back then. We had offense. We had a few players on defense, but we didn't have a good defensive unit. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of factors that can go in. You know, it just really is. So it is what it is. It's more than just the players on the field. You know, Dan Quinn brought a different philosophy in here, and we saw the results. The defense was a whole lot better. The defense was ranked pretty high, led the league in turnovers. And Dan Quinn was his philosophy change and played better. Once you get the right chef in the kitchen, things can happen. Hopefully, Coach Schottenheimer and his crew can cook a little bit better. And primarily, we all know what it is. We got to run the ball. But let me say this though. See, and I've said this before, and I guess this is a perfect spot to say it again. Is that we're talking Golden and we're talking Ted McMillan, primarily in 12, whichever one. I mean, does not that make the wide receiver room the best part of your offense? So you got to get them the ball, man. You got to get them the ball. So I'm saying you're going to keep passing the ball. Forget all this talk about we got to run the ball. No, your playmakers are at the wide receiver position. Golden and Lamb, Ted McMillan and Lamb. You're not turning into a primarily running football team. Not with that out there. No. See, I don't believe that. You might have a little bit more balance, just a little bit, but it ain't like we're just going to be known as a blooded, run you over Derrick Henry type football team. That ain't going to happen. Like if you got CD and all that type of stuff. Big Cowboy said, why is the quarterback untouchable to criticize? Oh, he's in there for criticism. But see, Kid Cowboy, the difference between you and me is, see, I spread it. You want to blame all the problems on Dak Prescott. That's the difference. And everybody knows, Dak deserves some credit. Dak deserves some blame, but not 100% like you try to do. Dak has had moments, bad moments. But when you're an all-pro quarterback like he was, the good far outweighs the bad. That's the difference between you and me, Kid Cowboy. You want to blame Dak for it all. And that ain't just true because he don't play defense. We sat right here. I remember very clear. We sat right here and we watched how the Green Bay Packers scored on 6 or 7 straight possessions in the playoff game, blew us completely out of the water. And I came on this show and said, hey, nobody played well. Nobody. Offense, defense, nobody played well. Kid Cowboy came right on here and blamed the whole thing on Dak Prescott as if he played defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. The game against Green Bay when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. Everybody forgot, Dak made the comeback, but everybody forgot, I believe, the halftime score was, I think, 37-3. Come on. I mean, come on now. Did Dak play defense on that? I blamed him for the San Francisco loss in San Francisco because what I said was, okay, you got a real close game. The difference between the quarterbacks that get a lot of publicity and Dak is when the moment arrives that now you got to get it done. You got to make the play. Dak in that game did not do it. When we lose 19-12, there were plenty of times in that game where Dak could have said he threw, threw two picks that game. I said he need to make that play. But to blame him when the defense gives up over 30 points in one half, I mean, you can't blame Dak for that. But if you kid Cowboy, you will. So, it is what it is. Oh, okay. It's been a while. True Cowboy fan. Kid Cowboy, you ought to love a true Cowboy fan. Y'all talk the same language. A true Cowboy fan, and he's a Cowboy fan, but he's also one that does not like Dak Prescott. I remember him. And that's fine. All I'm saying is it's kind of irresponsible to just blame Dak when you seeing your defense give up 30 and it ain't even third quarter yet. Come on now. Dak Prescott does not play defense. He does not. So sooner or later you're gonna have to call it like it is. The defense ain't doing nothing. It's just that simple. The defense didn't do it. They can't stop a nosebleed. Yeah, they just don't like him, Jay Brown. You wasting time. Kid Cowboy. I remember the true Cowboy fan in 1972. They will never give Dak Prescott any credit, but they highlight all of his deficiencies. If the Cowboys lose, it ain't the defense. True Cowboy fans say with better quarterback play, we would have won all 5 of them. It just totally eliminated that the defense got 30. What was the halftime score in the playoff game a couple years ago? I mean, I think it was 31. I think they scored 6 straight touchdowns, possessions. They ain't gonna say that though. He say, look, see what I'm saying? That your answer is right there. Kid Cowboy. He said you can't keep up. See what I'm saying? Right there. That's why you don't even bother talking to him. It's unusual for a team to score 6, 7 straight possessions. That's not normal. It's not normal. Okay. You got Brandon Aubrey kicking threes, but your defense giving up 7 easily. 6 or 7 straight possessions. Come on, man. Let him talk. All right. Who said something about 12? I was. Let me go on back with the chat line. I'm not gonna. Let's see. Y'all throw in the question on Deborah. I'll try to answer. Somebody said something about us. What we gonna do at 12? I think the possibility of a trade down would be good too. Cause here's another thing. And Jay Bryant probably be able to help me out better with this one. When you get past Ted McMillan, Golden, Luther Burden, and Ibuka, there's still some serious firepower at the wide receiver position. When we say wide receiver, most people think we need to get it in the first round. I'm trying to tell you the wide receiver room this draft is thick. And you can get a starter, a wide receiver 2 starter in the third round. That's how thick it really is. It's thick. See what I'm saying? So, and if you're talking about entertaining about moving back, then now this category is what we're talking about. Even though I think Burden and Ibuka will be there towards, the late mid part and the 20s in the draft. I think they will be there. Obviously, it's there. That's why I say moving back may not be such a bad thing as long as you get your guy. What would be interesting to see is what the Cowboys really don't know we'll ever find out. What do they really think about Luther Burden or Ibuka? That's the real question. I don't think we'll never know. There it is, Jay Bryant. And some of these names you see Jay Bryant just put in the chat. If you've seen film on them, then you'll see that the wide receiver room is in real good shape here. Jaden Higgins is great. The Rawls is one that I really like. Jack Beck is a good one. I love Rawls. I love Higgins too. But I think I like Rawls better. And you can go play football immediately. And I'm talking about okay. They will get double coverage taken off CD too. Matthew Collins, different perspective here. Oh wow. Oh, that's worth discussing. Matthew says defense with the 12th pick. Wow. Unless an O-line drops to us. But who though? Matt? But who? I'm saying if you're gonna pick 12, who you got? Now I get if which won't happen, but a Mason Graham by some type of miracle, which he would not be. But if you're saying, okay, there you go. Hey, thank you. Hey, Ms. May Williams, thank you. Campbell, that's the linebacker from Alabama, and you're talking about Jalen Walker, the linebacker from Georgia. Jay Bryant even throwing in, he agrees with you, man. He says he'll take Kenny Grant as defensive tackle from Michigan, my guy, or Tyleik Williams, and be happy at 12. Tyleik Williams, I believe, from Ohio State, the defensive tackle there. You wouldn't be mad. It just ain't sexy like, the wide receivers. You wouldn't be mad. I'm gonna say something about the linebacker though. I don't think Jalen Walker. I like him, but I don't think he worth 12. I actually have a couple linebackers I like more than Jalen Walker. I mean, he can rush the passer, no doubt. Okay? I can do that. But I like the boy from UCLA even better, and that's Schlesinger. I love him, but not at 12. In other words, what I'm saying is, I think it's more impact now. Campbell is different. Jalen Walker can play. I'll take him, but I like Schlesinger myself. Yes, sir, Jay. I love him, and I think he will be um, more impactful than Jalen Walker. Now Campbell is a different beast to me. I can see Campbell, but I'm not saying Carson is my Schlesinger is my second linebacker. I'm just saying I personally like him more than Jalen Walker. He's a better pass rusher than Schlesinger, but that's not Schlesinger's game. It's part of his game. Schlesinger is the type man that give you dang near 100, if he's a full-time starter. And of course, his health is right. He's the type of guy to give you over 100 tackles a year. Super smart, plays downhill, hits like a truck, very instinctive. I mean, I take that more than Jalen Walker myself. But I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if you got Jalen Walker. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. See, but the beauty of it though, Matthew, is what I was saying earlier when I first started talking about the draft, months and months ago, is that the Cowboys got so many needs. Like you can't go wrong wherever you're picking, unless the Cowboys throw a name up out here that just blows everybody out the water. But the Cowboys, there you go. Jay Bryan, there you go. Jay says Schlesinger is number 2. He's up there with me. I love him. I hope that, he's projected to go second round. And I would love for him to be our second round pick. I would love it. I would hope that I would, man, look, I'll swing. I'll swing fences for that. Kid Cowboy said that's why we need to trade Michael Parsons. I was like, dude, come on, man. I don't even know why I read it. I don't even know why. Y'all forgive me. A Kid Cowboy just kid. See, he don't like the stars. The Kid Cowboy don't like the guys that get paid. He just don't like it. He don't. He didn't. This the same guy that didn't want to pay Dak, of course. Didn't want to pay CD, of course. Now he don't want to pay Michael Parsons. And if you're a superstar, Kid Cowboy don't think you can. I just be looking. I be saying the comment. It's just whatever. If you're trying to do a complete rebuild, like get what you can with Parsons, as much as you can, then I understand what Kid Cowboy would be saying. But that ain't good for your fan base. The fan base want to compete. Kid Cowboy seems to want to start all over from ground zero and suffer for 3-4 years before something happens. We got too many good players on the team to be talking like that. Seriously. We're too close. We're closer to a 10-win ball club than a 7-win ball club. Your quarterback go down, then of course you're gonna have a few problems. your best defensive player go down, you're going to have a few problems. That's what happened last year. 5 or 6 games without Parsons. Dak went down. I mean, what you expect? You can only ask so much from Cooper Rush. You got Bland. I mean, Diggs went down. You got guys out there playing cornerback that can't even play high school cornerback. Okay. So, I get it. Kid Cowboy, stop it. Stop it. Michael Parsons' production cannot be replaced. There's only about two or three guys in this whole league that can do what Michael Parsons does. Stop it. I be trying to save Kid Cowboy. I'm just gonna stop saving him because he act like Michael Parsons just give out below average numbers, and I'm like, dude, come on now. What TV are you watching? Like, he ain't all pro for nothing. Come on now. He ain't just, I mean, come on now. They don't give away all pro now for nothing. Come on now. You had to do something to be all pro multiple times. Come on now. Let's calm down. What else does he do, Cowboy, to get sacks? Since you going there, I entertain you for a second. What else does Michael Parsons do other than his usual between 13, 15, 16 sacks a year? You had like 15 sacks, ain't worth a dime. That's what you're trying to act like, but I ain't gonna let you do it. But what else does he do, Kid Cowboy? What else does he do? He ain't got to have 20 sack years. That ain't the standard. What else does Michael Parsons do? What does he do to get all this attention that he's getting me? Because you're right, he doesn't have 20 sacks a year. So for him to be first team All-Pro for multiple years, he must have done something else. Because if sacks is your only standard, you know, if you saying 13, 14 sacks ain't nothing, then what else does he do? What else did he do to be All-Pro? They don't give it away now. They just don't give that away. They give Pro Bowls away because the fans vote for that. You say he doesn't stop the run. Well, Kid Cowboy, that's part of your answer right there. Why doesn't he stop the run? Could it be that he's getting double teamed every play? Could it be that he has to go through a tight end and a tackle at the same time? Could it be that he's getting chipped by a running back and a left tackle? Chipped by a running back as he comes in? I mean, nobody goes one-on-one with Michael Parsons. I mean, so if you have to have an offensive coordinator that has the game plan against Michael Parsons, and it requires minimum 2 players every play, then that ought to tell you something about that player then, shouldn't it, Kid Cowboy? That tells me he's a problem. If I got to allocate 2 to 3 guys on him every play, then that ought to tell you something. Because he ain't all pro for nothing. I'm just saying. DP, you ain't got to say that. No, y'all see the true stats is stuff that he don't like. He'll have an excuse for that. So ain't no sense of showing that. Ain't no sense of even talking about all that. Just like who was that? DP said there's only one player in the history of the league that's on the pace that Michael Parsons was. All these edge rushers, only one person. You see what I'm saying? So there's no sense of arguing that. He gonna argue that down. And then there's only been 10 people in the history of the league with 20 plus sacks. for him, for Kid Cowboy, for you to even be talking about 20, that ought to show you the type of player that you're talking about. If his standard is 20, you say he'll never get 15. If he stay injured, yeah, I agree with you. He would have had 15 last year. Missing all them games. 5 or 6 games. He still ended up with double-digit sacks then. What did he get, 11? Missed 5 or 6 games? Come on now. He played 17 games, but Kid Cowboy, he was hurt. You remember that? You forgot? You forgot? He didn't play 17 games. Yeah, they changed. He gonna change the goalpost. I'm just entertaining him now. I'm just entertaining. I'm just entertaining because he is a person that wants to get rid of all good players. All. You just don't want to pay him. You don't want to give him the credit either. But he's in the very Kid Cowboys, as I told you. I love you on the show. I don't mind. But as I told you before, he is in the very, very small minority with his analysis. Anybody that knows football knows that Michael Parsons is way much more than sacks. It is way more than that. Way more. Way more than just sacks. Well, how does he do in pressures, though, Kid Cowboy? Because, if you can make the quarterback throw the ball quicker or move him off his spot because he's getting back there, don't that count for something, too? I'm just saying. It's a reason why Bland and Diggs have had so many interceptions. Okay. It's a reason why, Kid Cowboy. It's a reason why the quarterback had to throw a little bit early. And they just fell into the wheelhouse of Bland and Diggs all those years. I'm just saying. It's a reason why the Cowboys with Dan Quinn was here. It's a reason why they led the league in turnover. Could it be that the pass rusher had something to do with that? Okay. I'm just using common sense football now. See, what you ought to be saying is, Cowboy, you got a Kid Cowboy. You got a player who ain't played but 4 years, I think. And he's had double-digit sacks every year. So that's what you should be saying. Because everybody don't do that. Once you really think about it. The man got over 40 sacks in 4 years. It ain't nobody in the history of the league got this dude's numbers already. See, that can't be denied. Those are facts. That's not big time just coming up with some, just stuff just to say. No. It's only been 1 or 2 guys in the history of this league that has done what Michael Parsons has done. That has to mean something. It does. Coach Breedlove in the building. You see what he said. Yeah, everybody see this. Everybody see it. And what Coach is saying is, now that goes back to, I believe, what Jay Bryan had said earlier about drafting Kenneth Walker or who was that they said, or Tyler Williams from Ohio State. You get one of those guys there, Michael Parsons and whoever else back there would have even more bigger stats. Kid Cowboy said 10 sacks a year is not hard. Then why is everybody not getting it then, Kid Cowboy? Help me out. Why is then every edge rusher not getting 10 sacks a year if it's not that hard? If it's not that hard to get 10 sacks a year, Kid Cowboy, why then is everybody not getting it? Help me out here. Help me understand. See, you can't make a statement like that, and then you got all these other 32 teams, 31 teams, and they got edge rushers, but they only getting single digit sacks. Why is that? Huh? Explain that. Because it's hard, I'll tell you why. Especially if you got an offensive coordinator that's game planning against you. Oh, yes. Yeah. Just say you don't like Michael Parsons. We'll just call it a day. It fits if you say that. Just say it fits. Just say you don't like him. And just like you don't like Dak and you don't like CeeDee Lamb and all that type of stuff. So I get it. I'm trying to figure out how in the world Kid Cowboy is a Cowboy fan when he don't like nobody. How, I mean, no, you want every star gone. Every star. And by the way, Kid Cowboy, you probably need to follow me on this one because when it comes to being paid, you know you've been wrong on every single one. You know that. So, you know, you said Dak wasn't going to get paid. I told you just hold tight. You said CD was not going to get paid. I said, oh, okay. Just hold tight. Hold tight. It's going to happen. Now I'm telling you that Michael Parsons is going to be paid, and you know it's going to happen. But you're going to hold on to your little, you know, whatever it is you say ain't going to happen. I yield. All right. All right. I'm looking at it. See what I'm saying? Here go kid. See what I'm saying? You just now you want Tyler Swift gone. Notice anybody that's an all pro, Kid Cowboy want him gone. Any all pro. That's the requirement. If you're all pro, Kid Cowboy don't like it. Now you want our best offensive lineman. It's unbelievable. I ain't got to say that. Y'all see it. Look at the chat. I ain't got to say that. It just don't make any sense at all. You want us to be 0-17. Can't necessarily say, from a team perspective, Kid Cowboy, I will give you a little credence on what you're saying, because if you're valuing it strictly on winning the Super Bowl, then I have no choice but to somewhat agree with you. But you can't say a career is wasted when guys are retiring and they're going straight to the Hall of Fame in 5 years. That's not a career wasted. You don't think Zach Martin is a first ballot Hall of Fame? You don't think Tyron Smith, who just retired a couple days ago, is going to the Hall of Fame? You don't think so? That don't sound like a wasted career to me. If Canton, Ohio, gonna give you a gold jacket saying you were one of the best to ever do it at their position, that don't sound like a career wasted to me. Now, it may be what you saying, but we can't say that. Empty trophy case. A whole bunch of Hall of Fame players got an empty trophy case, Kid Cowboy. Dan Marino ain't never won absolutely nothing. But is he one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? Yes. Yes. There's a lot of guys. Warren Moon is in the Hall of Fame. He ain't won nothing. He one of the best to do it? Yeah. There's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame that don't have one ring on their finger. Dan Fouts ain't won nothing. But is he one of the best quarterbacks ever play? Yes. Yes. This is the Cowboys. You're right. But since you throwing that in, does Zach Martin belong in the Hall of Fame, Kid Cowboy? Does not Tyron Smith belong in the Hall of Fame? Does not Jason Witten belong in the Hall of Fame? I just named 3 guys who didn't win nothing here. But are they going to the Hall of Fame? No. If they're in the Hall of Fame, then you have no choice but to say it is not a wasted career. That's my whole point. A wasted career means you don't get nothing out of it. Stop it. Stop it. Standards have not dropped. I just said if you're talking about the Super Bowl, now you're talking. Oh, you say no. Oh, okay. You saying no to who? Zach Martin not going to the Hall of Fame? Tyron Smith not going to the Hall of Fame? Jason Witten not going to the Hall of Fame? That's what you saying? Y'all pause right. I just want to make sure I get this right. Answer that. Who's out of those 3 not going to the Hall of Fame, Kid Cowboy? Because we're going to put you to bed now. Because if you say either one of them don't belong in the Hall of Fame, that just shows us where you are as an analyst. I need that question answered. Oh, see right there. See, that's a nice, slick way, Kid Cowboy, trying to answer it. But that don't work with me. You said the Hall of Fame ain't what it used to be. No, that don't work. The Zach Martin is real simple. Oh, they'll let anybody in there. Oh, okay, well, you're answering the question. Okay, so that's why we don't. That's why I rarely. I done gave you more pub time now than anybody. I mean, this is why I don't really answer your questions. Anybody tell me that Zach Martin, what is 9-time All-Pro player of the decade in his position? Player of the decade in his position, multiple Pro Bowl guy don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Are you kidding me? Let me stop. All right, I'll let y'all deal with Kid Cowboy. I ain't saying nothing else. He just showed me exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I'm done. All right. What we have to do for this year's thing, you got to hit home runs. It would be nice if some kind of way you slide and get the 4th round pick. It would be great. But if you don't, you have to hit home runs in the first 3 rounds. You got to. And I'm saying home runs. I'm not talking. I'm even talking. I don't even want solid guys. 12 needs to be a difference maker. Pick 44 needs to be a difference maker. Pick 76 needs to be a difference maker. We gotta hit hard. I ain't talking about no little ball to barely go over the fence. I'm talking about take measure shots. We got to hit home runs. This draft could very well be the foundation for the next 9, 10 years. You have to get some real players that are going to make immediate impact this year. Like these guys need to be playing this year. Definitely at 12, without a doubt. I'm going to even say 44. And depending on, I just have to see who it is that we picked at 76. I need to know who we pick up, and then I'll say, okay, this 3rd round pick needs to be playing this year too. So it's going to be very 12, y'all. We just, we just can't miss that up. And that's what worries me about Jerry and Steven. They just find a way to mess up the obvious stuff that we're supposed to do. They just mess it up tremendously. And I don't think they can mess up 12. It's just gonna be too wide open. It's just gonna have too many options there. Too many options there for you to even think about messing it up. I believe that we can, we really can. So we have to do that. And depending on where you stand, you know, I've been one, if you've been watching my shows, you've seen me on the other one, you know, if the Cowboys were to pick Booker at 12, the lineman, well, it wouldn't be sexy as a Golden or a Ted McMillan or Gente or whatever. But it would solidify your line for about the next 8 to 10 years. You'll have Guyton there, you'll have BB there, you'll have Tyler Smith, and if you get a Booker at guard there, the 4 out of your 5 is beyond solid. These guys, I mean, now you talking for real. And it wouldn't be as sexy as going to get a wide receiver too. But you're getting a guy that can flat out dominate. And there's your offensive line right there. So I would like them to solidify that spot. I wouldn't be mad if they would have got Booker. You know, some of these tackles that are gonna fall in the first round. I wouldn't be mad at that. It's just not sexy enough for a lot of Cowboy fans. We want the thing. And then y'all, and maybe I need to do a show. Cause some of y'all got them. I know who I got here. I got Jay Bryant. I'll let y'all take over. Y'all argue with Kid Cowboy too much. He ain't talking about that. I need to Jay Bryant, Coach Bree Love, if you still in here, I need y'all to kind of help me with this. Considering what we've seen over the years with Dak Prescott, Schottenheimer, even though he's a first-year head coach, he's been here. He's a part of the game planning for the offense. He was listed as the offensive coordinator last year. You know, Mike McCarthy called the plays. I get all that. Somebody's going to have to tell me that if we do get a Ted McMillan or a Matthew Golden, I even throw in a Luther Burden or a Booth. Somebody's going to have to tell me how much do you really feel the philosophy is really going to change when your strongest suit of your offense would be your quarterback, your wide receivers, if you get a Golden or a Ted or a Burden or a Booth, and mix in Jake Ferguson in with that. And how are you going to tell me that we're just going to be a pound of football now? Even if you say we're going to balance it out, that's fine. But make no mistake about it, we throwing the ball next year. If you go give me that, because if you don't, then that would be a wasted pick. You ain't getting Matthew Golden to hit a block. Primarily. No. I mean, yes, I understand some of the technicalities. Yes, it will help out with the play action game. You know, I get all that. But there's just nowhere in the world you're going to tell me that we just going to become a running football team. I don't care what coach you got in here. I don't care. If your best group is your wide receivers, then you are going to throw the football. I just believe that. It's just nowhere in the world. It's kind of remind me of you had Ezekiel Elliott and a very young Tony Pollard. But the problem was you traded for Amari Cooper and you had a rookie in CeeDee Lamb and a healthier Michael Gallup. Well, even with that, your strongest group was the wide receiver room and your quarterback. And what did we do? We threw the ball. Somebody gonna have to help me on this. Because everybody thinking we just gonna run the ball. And I'm like, no. Cowboys are gonna run the ball when they have to. And I think we'll be able to do that. But I just don't see the philosophy changing. I see Dak Prescott in the pistol. I see Dak Prescott in the shotgun. I rarely see him under center. I don't see that happening a lot. I mean, you can't tell me that's what we're going to do. I believe it when I see it. I believe Dak Prescott is going to throw the ball like he has done it every year. I believe he's going to have over 4,300 yards. I believe he's going to have dang near 35 plus touchdowns. I can see that happening with Dak again this year, if he's healthy, of course. If he stays healthy. I can see this all going down. When we just throwing the ball. I can see it. But when you got the receiving room like you got, aren't you supposed to do that? I'm saying if you get Ted or Matthew Golden, aren't you supposed to throw the football? I'm just telling you. I don't care who, unless it's Jenkins. I'm serious. Even if we get Amari and Hampton, we're not going to do Amari and Hampton, right? I don't see it. I don't. We're going to throw the football next year. We're going to throw the football. We're going to you know what I'm saying? Dak is going to be, I hope that because see, I said this before, I say it now. I have no way of verifying this. I have no way of saying it, but we all see that Dak is just a little slower. We can see it. The damage from his ankle is there, obviously. It's nothing that nothing you can really do about it. So, which means I can't see Dak on the center a lot. You see what I'm saying? Because, dropping back, even if you're passing the ball, I really can't. We just have to see how far he's really progressed when he do it, but it has to take a toll. If he's slow coming out of there, yeah, he can hand the ball off, but how much can he drop back from under center? Seriously. We don't know what he look like. Hamstring torn off the bone. His ankle will forever have little issues, little swelling, and all that. Of course, you're supposed to when you got that many screws in your knee. Your ankle. Of course, you're supposed to be slower. Of course. You're supposed to be slower. And that's why I'm saying to protect him, you're going to line up in the pistol or the shotgun. I don't believe he's there. I don't know. I don't care what he look like. I don't care how much weight he lost. I don't care. Your ankle is your ankle. It took some of your mobility away. Those of us that have had surgeries, me, myself, 3 back surgeries. I had the fusion surgery. I got 4 screws and 2 rods in my back right now. I had a torn ACL, left ACL. Hey, I'm a witness. You lose some things on those type of injuries. Before I tore my knee up, I ran a 4.5 340 and tore my knee up, I'll be looking to see 4.7, 4.8 now. Seriously. Seriously. I run like a lineman now. I was running like a wideout before. Need one knee surgery, hey, things change. Now imagine having 3 or 4 screws in your ankle. It's nowhere in the world you'll be the same. And so imagine coming from under center constantly. You know what that look like. What is really that? So you gotta protect your quarterback. You got to. And one way you can do that is that you can go ahead and put him in a pistol or a shotgun, which is what Dak does anyway. See what I'm saying? This is what Dak does. You got to call it like it is. So we you know, I can't answer that because we got to see it first. And unfortunately, that ain't gonna be until week 1, because you know Dak is not playing any preseason game. You know that, right? He'll practice, but he ain't doing no preseason game. He didn't do it last year. He didn't do it the year before. That's not gonna happen. Freight train, what's up? So we really not gonna know really what Dak really is. You know, first time us seeing it will be when he obviously plays in week 1. That'll be our first real glimpse. And look at that. JD, what's up? I see you. Yeah. Yeah, if that happens, I'm very happy. If you get Golden in the first, you get Junkins in the second. That's the running back from Ohio State, if you guys don't know that. I'll take it. But I would also take his teammate, Travion Henderson. If I get Travion Henderson, I'm super hyped. Yeah. They're going to do. Now, there will be a battle this year for the number 2 quarterback position. Not JD. I'm sorry, JD. Will Greer and Joe Milton Jr. are going to battle it out for the number 2 spot. And you would not see Dak Prescott. We saw what he did with Trey Lance last year in the preseason. Trey Lance had every opportunity to take over Cooper Rush. Shoot, he played every preseason game. Plenty of opportunity. I think Joe is going to have the same amount of opportunity, and I think Will Greer is going to have the opportunity as well. But Dak Prescott is not playing in no preseason game. I know that for a fact. They will not test him until week 1. Now he's gonna practice, but that's it. And that's gonna be more of a controlled environment as well. That's not what he's gonna do. They're not gonna allow him to get hurt until his game, in a real game. So I think when it comes to Keenan Allen freight train, I think that Keenan Allen will get picked up once somebody gets hurt, unfortunately. The Tyler Lockett's, Keenan Allen. You got to keep in mind, those type of guys don't want to go through training camp anyway. Okay? Remember that. So, they're going to be sitting there, and then it ain't like they don't have any offers. They just going to try to avoid training camp. It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, once he signs with whoever, and that very well may be after all season, training camp too. Aaron Rodgers don't want to go to no training camp. Just give him the playbook. He's ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Keenan Allen. No, they don't want to go to that. So just gotta be careful on this. And that has to deal with philosophy as well. When I was talking about Dak, like, you know, let's see how he moves. I know what he done, little drills and all that, what he got with the guys that he brought to pass the ball with him. That was just for about a couple seconds. Did he get on the center one time? How long did he do it? They ain't gonna show all that. They're not gonna show all that. We need to see exactly what Dak really is. And, like I said, we ain't gonna find that out in the week one. So, Jason Brewer, I see you. Appreciate you. Thank you for popping in on it. So it's you got to figure out ways to protect your quarterback. Now, once you start getting these lower extremity injuries a little bit more consistent, especially at the quarterback position when the linemen are falling on you and accidentally bumping into your legs and stuff, you better make sure that you, number one, got a backup quarterback that can play out there. And you better make sure that you protect him with scheme. That's what I think is going to happen. So, again, y'all, Thursday night, y'all come hang with me. I'll shoot it out, but the DC Universe will be doing our draft. Well, we'll be doing the draft, actual live coverage. All 32 teams will be covered in the draft, so it's just not a Dallas Cowboy content creator thing. DC Universe will be covering every single team in the draft. I will be covering the AFC East. I will be covering the AFC East for the draft. So all of your favorite guys will be on there. Mostly everybody follows each other. Boss Cowboy, I believe the OC will join us. Law Nation. At a little certain time, Law is going to come on. Rome, Cowboy Fan Talk will be there. Henny, Landlord, Lose Takes, DMV, Keystone Cowboy, of course, Boss Cowboy, myself, the whole universe, Stargazer. She will be on there as well. So it's going to be an incredible night on Thursday. You'll see exactly what we're talking about. I hope you guys will come on to the channel here, wherever you watch me from. I have all these channels available on that night. You can watch ESPN if you want. Just peep in on us and show a little support for us on that night, Thursday night. It's going to be incredibly professional. It's going to be a lot of knowledge. We've been studying, whoever responsible for your division, we've been studying this, so we kind of caught up on some of these teams a little bit better. Mine are easy. See, like the Jets, I mean, they need everything. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The Jets, this will be easy for me. I don't even need notes. The Jets need everything. They can put in all their basket, eggs in the basket with Justin Fields. Everything after that, it's easy. The Patriots need everything. You see what I'm saying? Mine is simple. It's just going to be interesting to see what the Patriots pick. At 4, man, you can go so many ways. Travis Hunter, even though I think he's going 2, number 2 to Cleveland. But what if he don't? I mean, he ain't gonna make it to 4 or 5. But I'm just saying, it's like, wow, Mason Graham. It ain't no real consensus where he gonna fall to. See what I'm saying? It's not a real consensus. I think Genty is going to the Raiders. Myself, that's at 6. Will Campbell, the offensive lineman. Where is he gonna fall? You know, I don't know. I don't know the depth chart of the Chargers, but I heard that before, and the same person is doing it again. Kid Cowboy said as soon as that got hurt, Trey Lance taking over. That's what I heard. He forgot all about Cooper Rush though. So I heard that before. In other words, I'll have to see what the Chargers depth chart is, and then I'll let you know if Trey Lance gonna beat out the number 2 quarterback. Let me look at it. Matter of fact, I just want to see. I'm curious now. I don't keep up with the Chargers. Let me see. Who is the Chargers backup? Okay. And Taylor Heineke. Okay. Trey got a chance here. Taylor Heineke, I'm sorry. And I don't know. They traded to get Heineke. I don't know, Kid Cowboy. Your boy may be 3rd string again. They traded to go get this backup quarterback. I don't know. Taylor Heineke. 32 years old. Played in Minnesota. I don't know. You know, I don't know if he gonna beat out Mr. Heineke. He's paid for backup here too. Kid Cowboy got $5 million here. So, and that ain't saying nothing. All I told you was Trey Lance won't be in Dallas no more. That's all I knew. That's what I told you. Where Trey Lance at? Kid Cowboy said that Trey Lance gonna be our next star. Kind of what they saying about Joe Mills. I'm saying like, oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't get it. All right, you guys. Listen, I gotta go. Gotta get my voice ready. I hope you guys are celebrating Resurrection Weekend. If you are a Christian, if you're not, then I understand why you wouldn't be. If you're a believer in Christ, then you know why we are celebrating tomorrow. We believe that he was resurrected from the grave, and because of that, a lot of great things happened for us. I don't want to preach here, but it really is the truth. So we're celebrating it tomorrow. I have to speak tomorrow in my church tomorrow, and so I'm gonna go ahead and start winding down. Even though it's only 4:41. WrestleMania should be on in about another less than 2 hours. The Lakers are playing tonight. Timberwolves, a lot of good stuff on. I'm going to go ahead and get relaxed and make sure I'm ready for tomorrow. Gotta say something. Yeah. Tell my organ man to get ready. Yeah. Gotta preach tomorrow. You know what? In the realm of preaching, if you can't preach on tomorrow, something wrong with you. I'm just saying. This has got to be one because the story is already written for you. He died. He rose. Now, in between that, there's a lot of good preaching material in that. But long as the story is told, any preacher that preaches that don't say nothing about him getting up on resurrection day, something is wrong. That's all I'm saying. You can turn in your preacher's license. So y'all guys enjoy your weekend. I will see you hopefully probably before Thursday. Hopefully, let me say I don't know because I don't know how my son's schedule is gonna be. But in the event that I don't have anything to do, I will be with you guys on Monday night, maybe. They're just gonna be dependent on my son. So we'll see you at some point this week. It may be for the ride. Most of you know about the ride. A lot of it's a little bit too early for some of you guys. The ride is when I drive in to work and do a quick show, about 30 minutes or so. A little bit more than 30 minutes. Do a little content there. Appreciate you, Chris. Come on, hang with me. If you don't mind, where we can do the draft together. At least look at it, and then y'all get to see me talk about somebody else other than the Cowboys for that. I will let you know as far as the NFC East goes. I think Lose Takes has the NFC East. I think he has the NFC East. So whenever a team is coming up, I think it's the Giants will be the first one and then us. So the Giants are drafting 3. Lose Takes will have that. Then we're drafting 12 with the Cowboys. We have that in Washington and Philly later. Of course, in the draft in the first round. So get ready for that. I hope you guys will come with us. Man, I appreciate you, Chris. Thank you, man. Again, if y'all want to at some point hang with me, I will have it on these channels that you see. You can come hang with me on that, and we can do it. All right. I'm out, man. I appreciate y'all, man, for coming hang with me again on this Saturday evening. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. We will see you probably Monday or Tuesday. And then, of course, the draft definitely will be with you on that Thursday. All right. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the one and the only. Y'all come on, help me say it with me. The Big Time Show. Now y'all come on, groove with me. We out.